How's it going, everyone? It's Dom here again. Today I'm going to bring you another workout here from home. We're stuck here and we're limited with what we have available to us. Trying to stay busy, trying to burn calories, stay healthy, keep our cardiovascular system working, keep our movement system working. So today I want to talk about something that probably a lot of people shy away from or tend to neglect, is core training. So working all the muscles between your diaphragm and your pelvis, and the things that connect your upper body to your lower body. Really easy. These are muscle groups we can do. We can work all the time, every day, as often as possible. Doing calisthenic and bodyweight exercises. I'm going to show you some techniques on how you can do that effectively. First, building up core strength for different ability levels. If you don't do this at all, this might be a little bit intense. Take your time, work on form first rather than intensity. Okay? Slowing the motion down is actually going to make it a little bit more intense and make you work your muscle groups even harder. And it's going to force you to use your whole core integratively so that it's strong, keeping your back strong and keeping you moving optimally. So, first we're going to get into a warm-up. Then we're going to go through a series of what we call isometrics, or non-moving exercises, and then we're going to add some movements to those, utilizing a couple pieces of equipment that you may have lying around. If you need to add intensity or add resistance, if you don't have the availability of things like dumbbells, then you have other alternatives. You could use water bottle, just like so. Doesn't seem like a lot of resistance, but it can be significant when applied properly. Or something like a milk jug. Again, if you're using one of these full of water, a couple things: make sure it's a screw tap. You don't want this to dump out and then make a big mess. So these are about 9 pounds when they're full of water. Make sure they're clean. You're going to be drinking from it. Obviously, it's going to get lighter the more you use that. Water bottle, same way. The more you drink out of it, the lighter it's going to get. And if you do have a dumbbell, I'm going to show you some ways to utilize the dumbbell's way to safely utilize it properly, safely, and effectively. So for our warm-up, I'm going to use a little timer here. Very simple, just an egg timer that you can use on your own. I'm going to do intervals of 30 seconds at a time, so I have that set right here so you can go along with me. Or you can lengthen the time to a minute or longer if you want to, when you're doing this at your own pace, your own ability level. Okay, so for the warm-up, we have a couple movements. We want to warm up the spine and warm up our abs. First, we're going to start with basic crunches, just sitting all the way up, reaching for your toes. Make sure you're working your abdominals. This is your opportunity to get the muscles that got to do the job on board. Exhale on your way up. Helps drive those abdominal muscles. Relaxes your diaphragm. Next, we want to warm up the hip flexors and hip complex, because that is involved in your core activity. So we want to make sure it's limber so we can activate abs versus your hip flexors. So we're going to take your head, lay back, elevate your feet off the ground. If you already have a little bit of back tension here, you can take your hands and put them underneath your bum. Keep your legs nice and straight, just like so. We're going to do what we call reverse crunches. Reverse crunches when you draw your knees all the way in until your butt comes up off the ground. And now, just like so. Make sure you squeeze your abs to lift your pelvis off your hands or off the ground. Exhale as your knees come into your chest. Good. Finally, sit up. And we just want to get some rotations in. Okay, so we do trunk twists. Your trunk is considered your abdominal core region. As you rotate, make sure you're watching where your hands are, so you're not counter-rotating with your cervical spine. So your whole spine wants to rotate around your lumbar spine, or this lower area. And just reach, see how far you can go. Exhale on the twist. Okay, good. And there you have your warm-up. So next I'm going to demonstrate the isometric hold positions, where you're going to hold for 30 seconds each. I'll use my egg timer here to give you a 30-second interval. You want to work on focusing on the muscle groups that have to work to hold you in that position. So for the first one, it's going to be a crunch. The second one we call 6-inch. The third one is going to be a plank. And the fourth one is going to be the side plank, or the lateral plank. Okay? So I'll show you the position first. You'll see my little egg timer, and when it goes off, you can relax and we'll move to the next position. So first is going to be the isometric crunch. Lean back just like so. We're going to start our 30-second mark. Hands forward to make it easier, across the chest for moderate intensity, or behind the head if you want to make it a little bit more intense. And 30 seconds start. Control your breathing while you're doing this. Make sure your abdominals are working, six-pack muscles are hanging on. Try and relax your hip flexors and relax your legs so that they don't overwork and get too tight. They will work a little bit naturally, but the more you can rely on your abdominals, the better you're going to feel. Good, so there's 30 seconds. Next exercise. Laying all the way back. Once again, if you feel like you have some back tension here, take your hands, put them under your bum. Legs should be nice and straight and held about 6 inches right out in front of you, off of the ground. You can put your feet together if you want to, but it's a little bit better and more engaging for your abs if you keep your feet apart. Okay? So I'll start my timer. 30 seconds. Ready? Set. Go. Again, make sure you squeeze your abs, squeeze your core muscles, make sure they are working. Don't let your back arch too much. Try and keep it rounded, pushing into the ground. Good. There's 30 seconds. So flip over into our plank position. So again, if this is too difficult from the toes, do it from your knees. Try and hold this position here at your elbows and your toes. Don't let your back sink too much. Keep your abs engaged so your chest is pulling down in between your legs. Okay? 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Doesn't seem like it's that difficult, but the more you try this, you should feel your body temperature rising. You should feel like you're working a little bit. Breathing rate should go up. If you feel a little shaky, that's okay. Try your best and work as hard as you can. And done. Onto the side plank. Start with your feet or your knees just slightly bent. One foot on top of the other. And you want to feel the underside of your core working, doing most of the work as you elevate and your legs are straightened out into the side plank position. Okay? So simply right from here, make sure your shoulder and your elbow is directly right in line supporting you. If it's out here, it's going to get pretty tired. So we'll hold 30 seconds on the clock. Ready? Go. Good. And whenever we work one side, we got to work the other side. So flip over. One foot on top of the other. 30 seconds. And go. Good. So here's our first round through the isometric movements. So the next step in our workout is to add range of motion, or actual movements, to the isometric movement. So, in the first exercise, we have crunches. So we're going to hold this crunch position for 30 seconds, and then we're going to actually crunch, lying all the way down, and just coming up halfway so you feel your abdominals are fully engaged, and lay back down. Just like so. 30 seconds on the clock. And go. Now as soon as that timer goes off, we're going to go right into our crunches. So be ready to get working. And 10 repetitions. All right, nice. So on to the 6 inches. 6 inches, holding this position, hands under your bum, straight legs. We're going to hold this position for 30 seconds, and then we're going to go into our reverse crunches that we did in our warm-up. Just like so. 30 seconds on the clock, and go. Ten repetitions. Okay, not bad. Flip over into the plank position. So we've done a couple of these movements before, so this time we're going to add the hip tap, just like so. This is going to be our movement. 1, 1, 2, 2, after we hold our 30-second plank. 30 seconds on the clock. Ready? Get set. Go. Make sure you're breathing. The more you breathe, the better your abs are going to feel. Hanging on. And into our taps. 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay, on to our side planks. Feel free to pause the video at any time if you need to take a break. Take a break at your own leisure, at your own ability level. Okay, so 30 seconds into our plank. This time, similar, we're going to do hip taps. We're up in this plank position, and we're going to lower, hips tap the ground, and then return back to that straight position. 30 seconds for the isometric. Ready? Go. And 10. Nice job. Other side. Find that good position. 30 seconds on the clock. And go. And repetitions. 2. All right, nice. So there we have an isometric movement followed by full range of motion calisthenics. Now I'm going to run through each one of these exercises and how you can apply something simple from home, like a water jug, to apply resistance to the range of motion. Now I'm not going to go through the isometrics this time, so I'm just going to show you how you can perform the repetitions with the milk jug. With the crunch, you want to hold it right here against your chest, so it becomes part of your upper body's weight. As you simply crunch up to that halfway position, feel your abdominals get engaged, lay all the way back down to stretch them out. We'll do 10 repetitions. You start with me. And go. Good. So next I'll show you a variation we can do for the 6-inch. Now you don't want to pull the milk jug all the way over your chest. You can drop it on yourself if you don't have good stabilization. So just having it simply between your legs resting here is just fine. You're going to lay back like so. And this is going to be a very simple, remember, we're trying to work the abdominals here. So again, using them to engage the crunch is going to be key here. Okay? So hold the water jug between your legs. Keep your toes pinched together so it doesn't fall down. And simply just going to lift a couple inches off the ground. Okay, good. On to the plank. This one you have to be pretty stable. You have to be pretty careful about it. You want to take the milk jug. This is also where it's imperative that you have a tie on in case it falls off, or a screw on cap. You want it to rest right down in the base of your lumbar spine, or lower end of your back. As you brace up, make sure you're taking your time, you're nice and balanced, pushing evenly through your feet, your toes, and your elbows as you get into the plank position. Just like so. Now careful, you don't start rocking around when you do this. But you're just going to lift the leg. Just get those toes off the ground and switch. There's 1. We'll try 10. 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay, good. Lower straight down so you don't knock that jug off your back. Push over. Pull it off safely. Finally, into the side plank position. This jug is going to rest right on what we call your iliac crest, or the upper end of your pelvis. Hold on to it so it doesn't fall off. It's not going to be able to stay on here. As you plank up, we're going to do our hip dip or hip tap rotations.
Good. Don't forget the other side. Good. And there's one circuit through the range of motions using a water jug as your resistance. Okay, so finally we're going to increase the intensity again by showing you some dumbbell applications to the resistance movements, but we're going to throw the isometric motions back in there as well to show you how we put it all together for one killer core workout. So first is crunches. Hold the dumbbell just like so, right at your chest. 30 seconds on the clock, and go. And crunches. Okay, good. Next we're on to leg lifts. Now these are pretty heavy. If you want to go down in weight and your dumbbell, or don't use the dumbbell, that's completely fine too. 30 seconds in 6-inch position, followed by gentle knee tuck reverse crunches. And go. And reverse crunches. All right. On the planks. Again, be careful when you're putting the dumbbell on your back. Don't let your back sink. Don't do this if you have back problems, obviously. Hold for 30 seconds, followed by 10 repetitions of each leg of gentle toe lifts. Make sure if you're getting tired that you don't let this fall off you, or there's nothing nearby that's going to get damaged. Okay? 30 seconds, and up. And toe lifts. 1, 2, 3. Don't move that spine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Gently take the weight off. Onto our sides. 30-second hold. Holding the weight right here at your sides. Take a little break again if you need. 30 seconds on the clock. And I'll hold the position, followed by 10 hip taps. Ready? And go. Hip taps. And the other side. Ready? 30 seconds. Get your weight on your hip. Feet up together and one on top of the other. 30 seconds and plank. And hip taps. Nice job, you made it through that one. Make sure you drink lots of water. Take a breather, recover. Feel free to go through it again if you want to. Usually 3 rounds through is pretty good, pretty sufficient. If you feel like you can do more, you can always do more. Remember, quality over quantity, always. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.